forgiven. They've forgiven the Southeasterners. They forgive them. And the reason is because they also found healing in forgiving. Especially folks in present-day South. And if you think she was lying, I just mentioned 3%. I noticed some Igbos are writing in the comment section. Some of you are very... Atuche, you cannot be this old and be like this. You cannot. I refuse to believe that you are this old and you think and act and type like this. It's not possible. You can't. You can't. You cannot. So what's the essence of growing to be this? You just grew older. You didn't grow up. You're in your 50s. Jeez. Read these books. Sunset in Biafra by Leche Amadi. On a Darkling Plain by Ken Saro-Wiwa. Ojuku's Rebellion and World Opinion by Nebo Graham Douglas. That one, you'll find it free of charge if you go to Redomi Global on Telegram. You find, if you read that book and you don't feel somehow before you finish that book, go and check if you're still a human being. How houses were burnt down. When you hear about, I mean, say in the Southwest, people came back and we gave all of them their houses back. We even took rent and collected rent and gave it to them. And we're still being insulted. Our fathers did that, by the way, and we're still being insulted. When Igbos got back, they found their houses intact. In some cases, it was even better than they left it. E.g., Shubimi Balogun. The house that Alex Ekweme left was already being used by thugs. He fixed it up, rented it out, collected the rent, gave it to Alex Ekweme when he got back. He's not the only one. It happened in Lagos, happened in the present day of your state, across Western region. But even then, they still insult us, we their descendants. Well, in the South, especially in Rivers State, they did not return any money, any building. Well, most of the buildings, they call it abandoned properties. The folks in there just moved into that place. If you don't know why they did it, and just tell you, see what they did to us in Rivers State, and you say, oh, they are bad people, they didn't do what we Yoruba people did, you don't understand their own story. And one of these days we should talk about it. How did they build those houses? How did they acquire the money? Dapa Brie actually talked about it in an interview granted in year 2000 when he clocked 80 years old. He talked about how the Southeasterners, how Azikiwe actually favored Igbo with money that was coming not from Igbo land, but from across the eastern region. And I've mentioned it here before. 34 to 36% of the agricultural revenue getting into the eastern region came from Igbo land. Between 64 and 66% came from the other regions. I mean, the other people in the region. So what you call the minorities. Although the Igbos were 76% of the population, 7 million out of 12.4 million. But they could only produce 34 to 36% of the revenue. Now, the oil, 5% was in Igbo land. About 60% was in rivers. Then there was also oil in Midwest. Yet, the money that got into the eastern region, the people that were favored were not the people of the area where they're getting stuff from. It was the Igbos. And Azikiwe did this so well. Azikiwe did it in 54, 55, 56. Okpara took it over and continued the same trajectory from 59-60. Azikiwe did it in his own term as premier of the eastern region. Then Okpara took it over. That's why when they burnt those houses in Rivers State, in Degema and Abonema, houses of people like what's his name? Neighbor Graham Douglas talked about how his entire library was burnt down. He was a lawyer. He was Attorney General of the region. He was the Attorney General of the Eastern region. They burned down his house with all the books. Not just his own house. If you were from Rivers or from Ẹkáàbọ. Now you see an insane person in the comment section writing story. Meanwhile, when you begin to cry like a baby, you are crying like a bush baby about see what they did to me. You expect people to actually show you empathy. And guess what? We will still show you empathy because your stupidity is not going to make us lose our humanity. But just see how you're writing story where people are telling you what they went through at the hands of your parents. This is a you are revealing that you are cursed. And I'm not even the one that cursed you. Your father's actions cursed you. Where was I? When they burned down those buildings, all people from Ẹkáàbọ states, present day Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, all those who have houses around that area, they burn their houses down. If you have time, go to our Telegram channel, Red Domain Global, look for the book in the learning section, join the group so you can access some things. Go to the learning section, look for Ojukwu's Rebellion and World Opinion. We are talking about it in a very subtle way, and someone is writing story. If they now begin to curse you, all those people that have sessions to just be insulting Igbos, I don't like it, but I understand why they do it. Someone says, forget about Azikiwe and Awolowo and move on. You can't live in the past. Number one, you should write forget, not forgot. If you want to spend, you can't live. Live is L-I-V-E, not L-E-A-V-E. We're not living it. You're saying you cannot live in the past. Here's the problem. For people that have nothing good to look for in the past, you would not need the past to make any progress. For those of us that we know the greatness of our forebears, we have to get inspiration from the present and also from the past. But you have nothing great in the past, so it's okay for you not to understand anything in the past. That's one. Number two, we're not living in the past. We are learning from the errors of our forebears, and we're also learning from their greatness. There is no way Nigeria can make progress without addressing what happened. For instance, these clowns, when they say forget the past, tell them that the war did not happen, that nobody died, no Igbo person died. They will begin to cry. The only past they want to remember is where they are victims. If you take that victimhood from them, you have destroyed their whole identity. Forget the past, forget the past. Okay, tell the person that no Igbo person died in Nigeria. Nobody died, no Igbo died in the north. No Igbo died in what's it called, in Igbo land. There was no war. You will see how the person will be throwing tantrums, constituting a nuisance all over the place, shouting, oh, we were the victims, we were the victims. As long as you affirm and assert their victimhood, you are discussing history. As long as you talk to them about responsibility, forget the past. You are not serious. What people did to you, in fact, if I talk, it will look like, say, you didn't suffer. You suffered though. But the point is, and I will end, I'm good most of the Olori now. Here's the issue. The thing will cause your suffering that time, now you they do again. So your chances of suffering again are very high. The way you talk, the way you move, the way you act, now waiting cause the suffering. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm just saying that you played a role in your own suffering. You are acting again. You've not learned anything from it. That's why you are saying forget about the past. You learn nothing from history unless that history is talking about your victimhood. If you look back, I mean, I say it a lot. I look back and say, okay, see what Awo did here. And Awo, by the way, is a god. The rest of the country should be venerating that man. But let's leave that matter. As great as he is, Baba could have done this, so benefit of hindsight. Baba could have done this, so look at Akintola, I could have done this, so he did this one good, he did this one, he could have done this better. That's how you learn from the past. This old clown, these ones, the only thing they want to hear in the past is that they did this to me. See what they did to me. They beat me. They hit me. That's the history. May God heal you, because I can't. You're not serious, yeah. Let's have Olori. Olori, you came up today. This is a miracle. Music going Lori platform me in 1 year. The last time you came up was over a year ago.
Hear me, right?
Absolutely, I can hear you.
Okay. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. When I mean everyone, I mean all right-thinking citizens of Nigeria, the patriotic ones. I have no business with people that wish other ethnic nations. We are ethnic nations. There is no tribe in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country, and I am so happy that I'm witnessing the good work of Asiwaju. I don't know him, other than that he was governor of my state, Eko, Ile Eko. I don't call it Lagos. It is Eko. Both father and mother, both all four grandparents were Eko indigenes. Okay, so for the people that think they will come to my land and say there is no man's land. They are delusional, and it's not delusional. So I'm going to mix. Sorry, I know people that speak, they don't speak Yoruba, but please bear with me. I'm trying to use up all my time. I want to first of all thank you, Ogbeni Busiyi, for your work, for your good work. And like so I totally agree. You should put your number as well as the bank information for people to support. I really encourage us to support Ogbeni Busiyi in all what he's been doing. I want to thank you for you letting me to increase and have an open mind to read all these books that I didn't even know existed in Nigeria. It's really opened my eyes. Most of what I know from personal, personal relationship, personal experiences in my family. Like I said, I'm a economy on both sides. But I have relatives, like my mom's older sister. One of them married an Okrika man. So my first cousins are Okrika. So what that lady said, she was right. Because my cousins, they swam part of the way from Port Harcourt. They swam part of the way to get to Lagos, to get to Eko during the war. The way they took over their properties, my aunt's husband also died during that time. So she had to send all her children. One of them deceased, died en route to Eko. So this to me is very personal in my own family. Another aunt, my mom's cousin, first cousin, married an Idoma man. Okay, so I have relatives all over that country, except Igbo. I don't have anybody in my family married to them because we didn't associate growing up with them. But we just knew that in Lagos, in Eko, there were Obioma. That was what I knew. Okay? So what that lady said is very true. And these are first experiences from my relatives that told us what happened to them in Port Harcourt and also in Benue. Okay? They all had to run to their mother's region, which was Western region. Okay? So, but the thing is this, Igbo people, and I know them as Igbo because that is what I knew them growing up. I don't know about Igbo. And especially when I noticed that they're trying to mix up that word with a lot of Igbo stuff in Yoruba land. I just don't, because I grew up knowing them as Igbo, and to me, they're Igbo. Okay? In fact, I'm even saying the nice words right now, because what I call them is what Northerners call them. And if you notice my comment, I call them that.
Don't worry, I like what you're saying right now. Just
I will respect your platform because it's not mine, and address them as Igbos. So whatever they say is inconsequential to me personally, or to anybody that I know, because I know the help that we gave them in Eko. We know how we treated them in Eko. We know all that. So my main thing is the information you're giving out, especially to our young ones. The Yoruba bot or the Yoruba Obidients that voted for Obi without knowing much about what he was about. Okay, it's good to have different opinions, different political parties, that's good. There's no problem with that. But when you have to join a political party that denigrates your ethnic group in order for them to shine, that is where I draw the line. And the truth should always prevail. The truth. And just like the lady said, a lot of our elders did not tell us what happened during, even before the war. They didn't tell us what. Now think, oh, why are they being treated like this and that and that? But one thing I'm so happy with your program, and I support it, really, really support it, is because not only the young ones, also the older ones, or ones in my age group that never knew certain information, knew about certain books, you know, that I had to go and read and also share with other people that I know, and sort of collaborated with some personal experiences from family members that had to live through this war thing. I remember attending Corona at VI, and we had to stay under the desk because there were some flyovers. This was in the late 60s. I remember this. I remember Federal Palace Hotel, which is where my parents would take us, you know, to have, you know, Sunday. And one Sunday we couldn't go because there was, they either took someone who wanted to bomb the place. So we couldn't attend for a while. I lost a family member at Agege, that cinema, that theater, when it was bombed. I lost a relative. So to me, this is very, very personal. So any Igbo person that will come to me and talk rubbish, I have not seen more TB anymore. Or TB Igbo no. When I first went abroad, I helped all Nigerians. I didn't care, you know, in whatever capacity I could, I did, until about 30 years ago, when Abiola was not allowed to take his June 12th mandate. I was a young university student in Washington, D.C. We had a protest. We called all the groups in Nigeria, the different student groups and everybody. But when we went to the Igbo groups, they told us that this is between Yorubas and Northerners, that they had no business. And they fled Eko in droves. So they could flee, and they will flee when they have to. They fled Eko, but they said that we should go and sort it out. That is when I stopped helping anybody Igbo that I come across with, because they're a bunch of ingrates. Okay? But the thing is, I don't have any hatred for anybody. I have more love for my ethnic group, because hating people is too much energy. But I have more love for my ethnic group, the Yoruba. And, you know, preservation of my ethnic group is what I am about. So whether they're jealous or envious or whatever they do, that is their own cup of tea. I really don't care, you know. Asiwaju has done so many things. Is it the student loan? Is it helping capital for small business? This tax reform alone alone, this tax reform alone, is going to put things in perspective to help, especially middle class, as well as people with small businesses. Okay, you know, helping the farmers. For the first time in God knows, maybe since when Pa Awolowo was around, cocoa farmers made gains. They made profit. It's in the news. Anybody that says they don't know this, all they can do, they can Google. Okay? They can Google. So we are about what is right for the country. And the thing is, regional government along ethno-linguistic lines is going to come. I prefer a Yoruba nation, if that could be. But the next best thing, regional government along ethno-linguistic line, like Awolowo wanted, is also good, with state police. That is what we're looking for right now. Sometimes you gotta crawl before you walk, and you gotta walk before you run. Okay? Asiwaju is in the right track, and this is why I am pleading with right-thinking Nigerians to make sure, if you are in Nigeria, make sure you get your voters card, you know, or I don't know what they call the voters card. Is it what do they call the voters card? Get that so that you can go and vote, okay? And if you are not in Nigeria, encourage your people back home to do so, okay? Because the changes that Asiwaju is making, him being stopped at this point in 2027, these people, all these hungry looking, corrupt people are gonna come back and change them. We don't want that. And any right-thinking person will never wish military regime on anybody. Any Yoruba person that wants that, they're not right-thinking. Oh, Cornile, you know, he or she should go and ask his parents or her parents about the military regime. The worst Yoruba politician, to me, is better than the best Southeastern politician, because they are unaccountable. The people don't make their politicians accountable. At least with us, we will make our politicians accountable, and we need to continue doing that. You know, so I really, really want to thank you. I want to thank your audience. I want to thank everybody, you know, and I hope that they support your program. It has really, really made a difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, can you hear me? Thank you very much for that submission, and I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And while you were speaking, you mentioned something about the cocoa stuff. I've mentioned it before, but you mentioned it again. So
about what?
I want people to about cocoa.
Oh yeah, they make big games.
Surgeons.
Yes.
So I want to play a very short clip. I want people to hear it so they understand what's happening, you know, in that sector of the economy.
Since the old Western region, this is the first time they're making big gains.
Yeah. So guys, I want you to take a listen to this. I think it's going to help on, you know, with that information. Take a listen to this.
Thank you.
Nigeria, the President Tinubu agricultural revolution settled among cocoa farmers in the area. The history of cocoa production in Nigeria dates back to the late 19th century. It has played a vital role in the country's agricultural and economic development. Cocoa was introduced by British colonialists in the late 1800s to early 1900s and was first cultivated in Calabar. However, successful large-scale cultivation began in the Old Western region, particularly in Ondo, Ogun, Ekiti, and Oyo states, where it quickly became a major cash crop. Cocoa production boomed after World War II And by the 1950s and 1960s, Nigeria had become the second largest cocoa producer in the world behind Ghana. At the time, it was the backbone of Nigeria's economy and the top foreign exchange earner prior to the discovery of oil. This success was driven in part by the Western Nigeria Marketing Board, which played a pivotal role in supporting farmers and stabilizing cocoa prices. However, the discovery of crude oil in commercial quantity in the late 1950s and the subsequent oil boom of the 1970s and 1980s led to a major shift in focus from agriculture to oil. This discouraged cocoa farmers and led to a steady decline in production. Young people also left rural areas in search of better opportunities, contributing to increased rural-urban migration. Prior to the current administration, various efforts were made to revitalize cocoa production, but they yielded little or no results until last year when farmers began to truly reap the rewards of their labor. At Etioni, Ikpetu, Ijesha in Oriade local government area, as well as Owode.
The video is actually longer than that. I'm trying to see if I can find the rest of it. What the man actually mentioned how much they made last year, well, 2024, because it was made it was made in 2024. So this thing, sorry, the documentary was made in 2025, but we were talking about the 2024-2025 season. That they made 30 million naira, and he bought a car, and he was actually standing in front of the car, and he said he was going to buy another one at the end of 2025. Just goes to show that a lot of things are changing. If I find the second video, I'm going to play for you. A lot of things are changing, and there are people who tell you that, oh, there's nothing working in Nigeria. Now, things are difficult in some regards, but things are also getting better. I was talking about how foodstuff is cheaper, so people were getting angry in the comment section. Things are going down, right? So I think we should appreciate what's going on, and yeah, we should appreciate what's
trying
going
to put in systems in the country. Once we have
Absolutely.
good systems, regardless of who is going to be the head of state or the president, things will work out in Nigeria. It's always interesting that other groups, they mess up the country, but it takes a Yoruba man or woman to come and fix it, and then they will be hating on us. But it's okay.
Thank you.
We're not going to look at that.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you very much. All right, there's one more person I'd like to speak, and I think that's Aya 2 or something. I see in the comment section. And you'll be the last speaker. I don't know where it's coming up. Okay, Nigeria must rise. Hello, Nigeria must rise. Can you hear me? I'm already. Okay, I'll bring up a currency and then we'll close for today. It's 9:20, so I have only 2 minutes. I have to run. No, I can't bring anybody up again. I apologize. I'm already too late. Should have left at 8 p.m. But some people came up and I thought it was important for others to also speak. Hey, Kenzie, are you there? Okay, I guess not. Yeah. Before we go, let me just thank everybody who has been part of today's session. Thank you very much for your contributions. Empress Wandy, thank you. Bonfire Studios, thank you. Lori, thank you. I saw the gifts, but I couldn't, break the flow of the speakers. Thank you very much for your generosity. I saw the hearts and the mustache. Just give me more. Make that one brown. And the coins, everything, the roses. Thank you very much for your generosity. Yomites on YouTube, thank you for the gift as well. God bless you. Thank you, everyone, for being part of today's session. If you liked the live, you shared, you commented on all platforms, whether on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, or Twitch, thank you very much for your support. Before we go, let me say this, right? That this whole thing, right, I think it's new to most of us. And I want to advise that if something comes at you like that, the right thing to do is to ask for the references or for sources so that you can check to be sure that what's being said is. 1 second. Who is that? Who's using? Which one is that? Okay. Sorry about that. I was saying that if please can you hear me properly? I know that I'm using show or media gay, show clear. I'm very sure you're getting my sorrow. Share me dada. Okay. So I was saying, thank you very much. I will go to the flow. So I was saying that some of the things that we're hearing may be a bit jarring for some people, or like, oh, well, we have been covering. Please just ask for sources and then you can go confirm. These sessions are not held in order to come up with propaganda. We're not the descendants of Azikiwe. He knows how to, because when you look through the history, he started this whole thing in 1937. And we are still bearing the brunt of it. And a lot of people are suffering from such things because if a person creates something and every other person is going that direction, you think that's the culture, that's the right thing. And then you're surprised when there's pushback. As far as you're concerned, this is how it should go, the way you think it should go. What you're experiencing right now is not hate, it's pushback. It's a people deciding that, you know what, it's enough. You can't just keep making things up and keep insulting people and keep denigrating people. When you are being responded to, we're not the ones who have begotten it. This is not tribalism. This is setting the record straight. And we're doing it as measured. I say it a lot. We try to be measured. Because I can assure you, majority of you who have these sessions where you are insulting Yoruba people, if you have one information, if I do to you, I mean, which I cannot do because I think most of you are retarded, but if I do what you do, where you insult people and just curse people out, based on if I use the waiting you really do, not be say all this, your father, your mother, your father. If I really use what you did or what your parents did to insult you, but to what end? What's the goal? What's the gain? The point is, let's all gather around materials. Let's study what happened. For Yoruba people, you've got to be informed. For Nigerians generally, Yoruba or also everybody needs to be informed. For those who are from the southeast, what you need is healing. The template your ancestors, your forebears, the templates they put together for you. And I'm not trying to throw jabs. I don't hate anybody. The template is based on victimhood. It started in the 1930s. Two things that they did, and we started with Azikiwe, and you guys liked it when he was doing it. And by the way, when you read the book, I didn't read earlier. I don't want to open it now. Second World War and Nigerian Politics. When you read that book, everybody, I mean, most people, let me not say everybody, but everyone in the Southeast actually saw Azikiwe as an idol in the 1930s and 1940s. When he returned to Lagos in 1937, folks went all the way to meet him. Even people went to his place to go and welcome him. That's how respected. And then he was saying that he expected that Yoruba people would also come and greet him, since he's one Nigeria. Rubbish. You see it in his book. I'm not making anything up. Read his own book, autobiography, My Odyssey. He talked about how when the Igbos came, he was also expecting the natives, the people in Lagos, Yoruba people, the also come and welcome him. Say you'll be waiting. The point is, he came up with two strategies that you are still using. And if you could just sit down and think about it, the two strategies make no sense. They'll get you what you want, although it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense, but it works. And the issue now is the consequences of using that strategy. The first strategy is that you are better than everybody else. I started pushing that narrative in 1937, using his West African pilot, because that was the in thing at the time. You are better than everybody. God has created you specially. Igbo is leading everybody. You have no crimes. We're just engineering society, particularly Lagos society, which was why a lot of them followed him into NCNC, only for them to not be dealt with much later. So you are the best of all of us. That supremacy thing, you see it's like a thread that runs through your history from 1930s, specifically 1937. You see it in the writings of your intellectuals in the 50s and the 60s. Everybody thinks that same. Even in the 70s and the 80s, even in the 2000s, that you are better than everybody, and that people are jealous of you because you are better than them. You still say it in 2025. You have this and that. You have more than them. You don't. All the money you have is only. To be honest, like people wear singlet and they're billionaires, but they're not on Forbes list. But I mean, go figure. Anyway, the point is like everybody is always jealous because you are better than them. That thing is all through you, all across your history. I see it in materials from the 30s, from the 40s, from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even up until today. The truth is, you're not better than anybody. People have to be telling the truth. That supremacy nonsense is a product of inferiority complex. And I said it the other day, anybody who has superiority complex or superiority tendencies or even inferiority complex, both of them, they are product of something deeper. It's insecurity. You are insecure. That's why you think you're better than other people. Or you think you are worse, you are insecure. So the first thing is that you are supreme. You are better than all of us. The second one, which you start seeing in his writings from the 1940s, after they show them small things. Not even we, they show them all. Now you go, they show them. And not even say that they show them something. What happen, we say, they go want something, make something come to their region. I read some of those things yesterday, maybe on Friday. They want some things, right? The best way Azikiwe designed in order to get what they wanted from the Igbo was to now play the victim. And so you see it in a speech in 1949 in Aba, was June 25, 1949, was a Saturday, when Azikiwe was saying that we have been taxed without representation. We have our taxes are used to develop other people's places. Meanwhile, they paid the least tax of the 3 regions at the time, the 3 provinces. They paid the least. Even though they say, Arthur Richards, January 28, 1947, he said, these guys, they paid the least of the 3 regions, but they clamor for more and more of everything, and we spend more on them than other regions. So they're always using that thing to get something from those who are higher. So those who they consider to be Nigerians, they say they are better. But ones that are dealing with higher authority, they say they are victims. And that is still the stuff you see now. You see it in the writings of the intellectuals as well. But the supreme one, you're the victim. You're supreme, you're victim. Now you're using it for everybody. Just change tactics. And the way to do that is understand the fact that you are not like this. I mean, God did not create you like this. You are like this, but God did not create you like this, and you can change. And help the next generation. Help the next generation. Take responsibility for the mess ups and do better. But if you choose not to do better, that's your business. If you're Yoruba or you're Hausa or you're in Nigeria, all of us should do better because nobody is perfect. But let nobody blackmail you with any nonsense. In the name of victim, you see what they did to me. Nobody did anything to anybody. God bless everybody and take care of everyone. Thank you for being part of today's session. We'll be here tomorrow at 4 p.m. By the way, cultural differences doesn't mean you should be stupid now. What are you talking about? Cultural differences means you should be the guys. I was going to end, but someone wrote something. I need to speak on it. Jesus Christ. Let me answer you. Take in Jojo. When you use the phrase cultural differences, do you really know what you are saying? Do we have cultural differences? Yes. What you have is defect. Defect. It's a product of low. I don't want to talk. If you look at if evolution was to be a ladder, you're on the lower rungs. That's not something to celebrate. If you have children, and many of us here, I know your parents, when you have kids, which child, let me ask you, what's the age range of a child that always says they did this to me? They're usually toddlers. Once you get to a particular age, the sign of maturity one of the signs of maturity is the ability to take responsibility. So we are not the same as the people. We will never be. Of course, we will never be. What are you talking about? How to take risks? How to take risks? How to take risks? You guys actually think too highly of yourself. Or what do you mean will never be? Of course, we will never be the same. The point is just that whatever stagnation or stunted growth you want to achieve, keep it within your space. Don't bring it into my space. That's all. You don't have to grow. That's the beautiful thing about life. You don't have to evolve. You don't have to grow. You can be retarded. You can stay there permanently. Don't bring it to my space. Don't have sessions where you're talking about Yoruba people being this, being that. Don't have politicians from your region just castigating Yoruba elders, but will never speak against things that happen in your place. You have all these people on social media, some of them supposed to be your intellectuals, talking about how things are burning in Lagos and they're burning Igbo places. On top, fire, just victim crying everywhere. If you want to be a victim that doesn't want to grow, then stay in your place and be that victim. Stop disturbing the world. You invited us to your space. I did not invite you. Nobody invited you. I didn't invite you. And those who invited you in 1970, they made a huge mistake. If they're the ones you're talking about, they made a huge mistake. They thought they were really being okay, Goro. It was a mistake, by the way, and I think we're going to have to rectify it. Our fathers told you to come back after the war. They made a mistake. See, that's the thing. Me now, I just acknowledge the fact that my folks, my elders, made a mistake. They did make a mistake. That's the truth. They should never have pulled you back. What should have happened in Lagos was what happened in River State. I played the two videos some time ago where folks in River State said, "Don't come back here." They said it. The folks in Yoruba land should have said they shouldn't come back either. They should just stay where they are or where they were. But guess what? You will beg to leave because you guys always complain about the North doing this to you, doing that to you. But you still went back. As soon as they lifted Kini coffee by like this, you're already in Kano. Why? You need Nigeria. You need the country. And and the crazy part is that Atuche, you are an example of such people. You are an ingrate. You are not grateful for anything. All you do is complain, cry like a crybaby, like you are cursed to be like an egbere. Just be complaining, negative energy, crying all over the place. Like now, you have come here several times. I've seen the things you're writing in the comment section. Bad news. You have nothing good to share. Your life is miserable. Like, it's amazing that you're still alive. But I'm glad for you I'm glad that you're alive. And I hope that the way you're acting right now, because to be honest, you're not doing anything better than your parents. You are doing exactly what they did. You insult people, you clown around, you taunt them, you come up with stuff, you call them cowards. When they now show you that they are kicking on you, you now begin to cry. It's going to. I hope it doesn't happen again, to be honest. And that's the funny thing. You don't like conversations. You always, if it doesn't go your way, evolution. You've got to evolve. But even if you don't want to evolve, don't evolve. But don't bring your retardation or stagnation into my space. May God bless you, by the way. May God bless you and your region. I just want you to know that people are not. We are back to 1948 now, by the way. And we'll talk about that on Friday. We've talked about it before, but I want to get into some things I haven't discussed before. And again, we're not just discussing history. It's a shame that Nigeria's history is almost more current than tomorrow's news. It's sometimes it's like it's predictive. Like you can read, and if you get into Nigeria's history, you're going to notice all of these things. As you are reading it, you can wake up tomorrow morning, you see the news. It's exactly mirroring what you read. So it's not really just talking about history. It's like putting history beside the present and like it's happening again. And we're trying to say that it's happening again, but can we at least try not to have the kind of responses that were violent back in the day again? And then you have retards come around and say, stop talking about the past. If I don't talk about the past, there's a huge possibility that people are going to respond to you the exact way they responded to you in the past, which was violent. This is what we see. Please, Prof, can you help me with the Redomi Global Telegram channel? You already wrote it there, Redomi Global on Telegram. But if you want to buy books, you have to go to Redomi Books on Telegram as well. But some of the free books we mentioned, you will find on Redomi Global. Just search for Redomi Global on Telegram, you'll find it. You'll be able to download those materials. I want to thank everybody who was a part of today's session, everyone who came up to comment and to be part of everybody who spoke on stage, right? Adalto, Olori, Dark Poet. Are you up here? Jake's boy. I didn't remember her name. Izon Erobodo. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming up to speak. Like I said earlier, we have the sessions every weekday, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. if your time was African time. Tomorrow, we're going to be discussing something. See, this thing that you're asking, I used to do this. I stopped. I did some killing for a while, and I stopped. The reason I'm back to it is this. If you decide to insult Yoruba people because they produce a president, I'm going to tell you your story. Fulani Mayor story. It's too late. I'll do it on Friday. If I want to do that, I have to connect it with 1951 election. But I said we're going to do 1948. So let's do like this. We'll do 48, then we get into Fulani story, into how they how they had a Fulani mayor in Enugu. They're always talking about that, forgetting the fact that we also had Zik in Ibadan in the same 1951. We're going to talk about it on always insulting your wife. Again, I won't insult you unless, of course, but generally speaking, the point is just we're going to be asking a question. What do certain people actually want out of Nigeria? What do people actually want? So that would be tomorrow, 4 p.m. Tomorrow is Thursday, so that means that we're not going to be on camera, and it's not going to be very long. So please come early, and we'll say something, and it's working. We start playing the music before 4 o'clock, so a bit after 4, get on camera, and we have a great session. So please join us tomorrow, 4 p.m. if your time was African time. Thanks to all those who gifted me and other speakers on stage earlier. Thank you for the coins, the heart means, all the gifts. Thank you. And those who are using the bank details as well, thank you. Again, if you want to support us, and like Olori and Edalto said, thank you, by the way, both of you, for actually encouraging us to support. If you'd like to support the projects, please use the bank details up here. Up here. Yes, this is it. Yeah, please use that. And we would appreciate your generosity. Thank you very much for being here. All right, before we go, we're going to have our anthems, the Nigerian anthem and the Yoruba anthem. I want to try on Friday, if you are from the Southeast and you'd like to respond. I tried it last week and I think it's okay. So if you'd like to speak, please feel free to send your request. Nobody will curse you out. Nobody will throw you away. Especially if you have a conversation like a normal person, nobody will. So please come around. If you want to speak, feel free to come up. We'll allow you. And please, if you have sources, try and bring them. But please, I beg you of God, don't be like that guy that came the other day that was quoting DeepSeek and ChatGPT. Please. May God bless you. The guy said, if you go and read DeepSeek, I was like, DeepSeek. No book title. I should just go to DeepSeek. Very nonsensical thinking. Anyway, thank you very much. Essiongon. Let's have the anthems, the Nigerian anthem and the Yoruba anthem. I'll see you at 4 p.m. if your time was African time tomorrow. Here's the anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and the unto our children a banner without stain. Oh, Lord of all creation, grant
àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀ ìmọ́lẹ̀ wo ni wọ́pọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní bàjẹ́ Nàìjíríà náà ò ní bàjẹ́ ilé wa ọ̀nà wa kò ní bàjẹ́ mo kàn dábàá ó máa yọrí sí rere lágbára Ọlọ́run. This year is going to be a blessed year for every single person. May God bless you. May God open your eyes to opportunities. And may you succeed in everything that you do. Thank you to all of us who have been part of this session across all platforms. Thank you for making it a success. May God bless you and keep you. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time, for another time. I've mentioned how many times now? Okay. Have a great night and a wonderful time. Odaro. Thanks a lot. Empress, my moderator, thank you for doing a wonderful job. Good to see you. Thank you, Caris Events. Emma Remotiko Kini 1951 and Mayor of Enugu. We're gonna get there. I've noted it now, so I'll remember once it's time. All right, thanks a lot.